Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Stadium Rant proudly presents to you the most electrifying wrestling show in the world. And we are your hosts, The Bake Show, Shake and Bake, the Nard Dog Bernard Green, and the Professor, Nicholas Mullick. We're the Ringside Boys. This is Ringside Rant. It has been a hell of a week for some hosts on the show. It's been a hell of a week in the world of pro wrestling. We are less than a week away from a documentary that will shake the very foundation of professional wrestling forever. The Vince McMahon documentary is coming out before our next show. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the season premieres of Raw and SmackDown, who found a new home and an interesting rebrand. We're going to talk about the tarnished career of Vicky Guerrero and how she can't keep her foot. We got a lot of foot in your mouth on this show. I got to be honest with you. Good news, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade cooked yet again, and we got to watch it for free. You got to love it. And Monday Night Raw, it happened. Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed put on an absolute show. And other than that, Raw was kind of there, and it was just more of the same. But anyway, before we get to any of that, I got to check in with my co-host, the gentleman. How we doing?
Pretty good, man. Hectic week.
What a week this has been. I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Vince, get those lawyers ready. You're going to need it.
And
lawyers ready.
I mean, I think Bernard said it, and they ain't going to do shit. I mean, hire them. Get that retainer money ready because they'll rob you blind because they're going to get every penny it's worth. And we're just going to start the show off with that because it didn't come to my attention. I knew when the Vince McMahon documentary was coming out, but the realization we were less than a week away from the premiere, and it premieres on a Wednesday, and I was like, oh shit, we're not going to have a chance to talk about it before it comes out. So let's kick the show off with that. It's that Meltzer tweet literally just came out today before we went live. I love when things come out day of show and we just get to rip it right open, rip the wound open. I'll save my take for last. Bernard, I'll let you kick this one off. How you feeling about the Vince McMahon documentary? And you can also tie in everything we've seen with the Vince apologists of late.
Well, I'll say this. I rather say what's done in the dark shall come to light. Yeah. And I think we about to figure out the whole truth about Vince McMahon and this whole Vince McMahon situation unfold next week on Netflix. Not to mention what Janelle Grant has got going on against Vince McMahon. I say, Nick, like Nicholas, like you say, those divorce lawyers ain't gonna do shit.
They will help him out during the Janelle Grant case. I can tell you that.
But other than that, I think that's it. And with Shake Bake, like you said, this could shake the core of the whole wrestling industry. My thing is like, how badly? Like, does it shake up to the point where, like, every wrestling promotion in the world will put their rules and regulations inside the industry? Do they because this really is pretty big. I mean, because exactly, because not only WWE is going to have to recover from this, but everybody else, AEW, TNA, Global Force, New Japan, any other Ring of Honor, every wrestling promotion is going to look and pay attention to this, and they might put their own rules and regulations into play to prevent anything like this from happening. And that's my thought of what I have on it. So, I mean, from anybody that's gonna look at this Netflix, I said take it as a life lesson, and just make the wise decision, folks. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. Well said, Bernard. Well said. I mean, Vince is one of the most craziest, diabolical, and evil people, not only in the industry, in the world. In the world. And there's plenty more laundry that can be thrown out of there. I hope they cover the Jimmy Snuka case in this because he had a helping hand in making that go away. Craziest thing, too, is apparently he walked into, when they were talking with Snuka, with a briefcase Now, we're never going to know what's in that briefcase, but there's been stories previously of Vince going to different locations. This was during Black Saturday. This was when he was buying everything up, carrying a briefcase, and in that briefcase was full of money. And that's why I think it's the telling thing there. I also hope, and they're probably never going to talk about this too, I really hope they talk about the Ring Boy scandal as well in this, because what Vince did in that is disgusting. Bringing those people back, think about that. Like, these people are under investigation for what they did with the Ring Boy scandal. And Vince goes on, I think, on an interview, and he says, I think it was Mel Phillips, if I remember correctly, who was accused. He basically said, I find his relationship with kids to be peculiar. Yet you brought him back. Like, what? And with Vince, it's just, I hope they air everything out here. Now, they're not going to talk about Janelle Grant. She's not going to be involved, but they are going to hold a press conference after this, I think, or around the time the documentary gets out, which is must see. Vince,
For sure.
let me just tell you, get them ready. And I'm not talking about the divorce lawyers. I'm talking about the regular lawyers. I'm talking about get Jerry McDevitt to try to come back out of retirement. Get everything. Get your dream team ready, because guess what? You ain't coming back from this one. And my one concern, and then I'll go on with you, Shake. I'm concerned that this is going to affect Triple H, because, you know, he's married with Stephanie McMahon, and he has to have known that this was going on. Him, Nick Khan, Stephanie McMahon, Shane probably, Kevin Dunn, which, God, I hope they expose that creep. If you want to go look into that sicko, go look up what Kevin Dunn has done. But this is going to dredge a lot of bad drama here. Get ready, get prepared, and enjoy the ride.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be insane. 6 1-hour episodes where we get to basically dive into how big a piece of shit Vince McMahon is actually. And I'm okay with that. Okay. And we've acknowledged on the show, like, yeah, he built up this thing we love so much and all of that. But, like, I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that this is all coming to light, and we are all, some of us are not learning this. Some of us have known some of the things. But, like, if you are just learning this, it is perfectly acceptable to acknowledge the fact that, yeah, he did build this and that was great. But, like, you also have to acknowledge the fact that he's a piece of shit and that you can't accept, like, give him anything now. You can't give him any credit, like a lot of flowers or anything like that. It's just to such a point. He's done so many horrible things, and it's unforgivable at this point. And to be an apologist, it's got to stop. And I said this to you guys when we were talking in our group chat. The Vince McMahon apologist, it needs to stop now. As soon as this all comes to light, it has to stop. And I think WWE, you both touched on it, how it affects Triple H, Nick Khan, all those people. They need to make a public statement and acknowledge what the fuck happened. And if they had any part of it, you need to fucking acknowledge it. And even be honest in the fact that I was afraid for my livelihood, because that's the goddamn truth. Okay. And people are going to be pissed off. But the truth is, no one's really going to blame you, especially when they see how fucking crazy and how much of a tyrant this guy is. You need to be honest, save face any way you can, and be like, I am going to do better, XYZ how, and this is how we have been better since he's been gone, and this is what we're going to continue to do going forward. Because if you don't, you're going to go to hell with Vince McMahon. It's WWE is going to go down the shitter. That is what is going to happen. People will take this personally if you do not show that you're not okay with this. The Vince McMahon apologies have to stop.
And I want to mention one other thing I forgot to mention. Alberto Del Rio, or as I like to call him, Alberto Del Dipshit. He basically goes on and says, oh, I don't understand why people are going after Vince. He's having a tough time. He says, this is coming from the same guy who basically assaulted Paige in the middle of an airport. Yeah. Like, and by the way, Alberto Del Dipshit, you're not going to be coming back to WWE. Triple H hates you. He's clearly never forgiven you, because if he did, he would bring you back at this point. You were always a Vince guy. So it's not just him that's being a Vince apologist. Like, even, like, I love Mick Foley to heart, but what he said about, like, trying to find his address, like, come on, dude. Like, I respect you and everything you do. You're a nice man, but, like, Come on, you can't be saying stuff about that with Vince.
For Mick Foley, for me, it's just like, be fucking careful, dude, because I'm in the same boat. He's a New Yorker. He's from Long Island. He went to the same fucking college I did. Like, I love that guy to pieces. I think he's genuinely a good guy. And I think he's another guy that's caught up emotionally in this because of what Vince did for him in his life. Because who the fuck is Mick Foley without Vince McMahon? I mean, let's be honest.
Who the heck is Mark Henry without? Like I said, this is not going after Mark Henry and Mick Foley, the person. I respect them.
Yeah,
I really don't. But like when smart people say stupid stuff, like, come on, bro, you have to call it out on that. You have
it needs to be. Yeah, you need to just clean that up and just be like, you know what, I fuck that guy. Yeah. Like, he did everything for me in my career, but like, I can't say I approve of anything that was done.
And not everyone's gonna make mistakes. Like, small ones are always going to happen. Like, everyone's going to say something bad once in a while. Yeah. But you want to know why I think benefits everyone? If they grow and learn for what they did was bad. Vince obviously didn't, and he continued to harp on that, and he loves chaos. I think that he loves chaos. He really does.
He's actually probably addicted to it, but we spent a lot of time on this, and
he's addicted to a lot more things.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, this guy's got a lot of problems, and we could spend 3 hours talking about it and barely scratch the surface, but we got a lot to get through, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have plenty to talk about with Vince McMahon next week after we have watched. I don't know if I can get through 6 hours in one evening, but we'll figure something out. Maybe we break it down half one week, half the next week, because there's going to be so much to talk about. We might dedicate almost 2 full freaking weeks to it.
And keep an eye out on stadiumrant.com, because I will be reviewing them. I will talk about them more in depth due to the time we don't usually have on this. But yeah, keep an eye out on there, because it's going to be great content for you to read.
Yeah, and SmackDown got a new home on the USA Network, moved over from Fox, a partnership. We could talk about that, but got a rebrand. It looks like SmackDown. Not a lot of people like the logo, and they're right for that. I'll kick this one off. With the rebrand, I like the font they used. Just combining the S and the D was probably the worst creative decision they could have made. Like, I tweeted it out, like, asking some of my followers what they thought, and someone who doesn't even watch wrestling commented SmackDown, and I was like, yeah, it's fucking horrible. Like, I could tell what they were trying to do, but if they separated the S and the D and kept that font, the logo would be awesome. It's basic, it's clean, black, white, blue. That's all you need. You don't need anything crazy. Vince really liked to go over the top with the branding. I like it clean and simple and not over the top. I think they just horribly missed with that. And unfortunately, I think we're stuck with it for a little while. I hope they make a shotgun change. I don't think they will, but it's just not great. Gentlemen, what do you think of SmackDown?
Yeah, not great. I don't think it's the worst logo I've seen. WCW's old logo was terrible. The NXT 2.0 rebrand was terrible. But yeah, not great. There could be a lot worse. I think the worst part is the music that they're using. I think that is garbaggio. The person who's performing, I think her name is Megan Jovan Ruth Pete the Stallion. I think she's called. I don't know what she's called, but
Meg the Stallion.
Yeah, whatever.
Megan Stallion.
Yeah, but yeah, garbage. Don't like it at all. I don't think it fits pro wrestling at all. And something interesting is that, like, apparently Megan, what's her name again? Megan Jovan.
Megan the Stallion.
Yeah, the Stallion. Okay.
Yeah.
This Megan was apparently going to be a part of AEW and work with Sasha Banks on something. Which,
yeah, they were friends.
Yeah, they were friends. Yeah,
they are. Still.
I think the connection is because Calvin Broderius, who's Snoop Dogg, is the cousin of
Sasha's cousin.
Yeah, yes, and I think that's where the connection comes into play. But
yeah,
I mean, it targets a different market. I'm not that market of music. I didn't even know who this musician was until like a week ago.
Self-aware king.
yeah, but I will say it could be worse because
it has been.
This could be. It kind of has been, but it could be a lot worse than it could be. But I think it's an overreaction. I think we got to get used to it a little more. But another slight thing: is it just me, or does this zero look like just the number zero, but
Yeah,
flipped
on the
the opposite
side.
way?
Yeah.
That's my big complaint on it. But besides that, I could care less about it. Like we just got to get used to it.
BG, what you got, dog?
Well, let's start off with the music. I love hip hop music. And I understand, at this day and age, things are starting to, people are starting, I guess, think outside the box more and, change. However, I agree with Nicholas, and I don't know about you, Shake Bake, about the music because number one, I don't listen to Megan Thee Stallion. Number one, I barely listen to any female artists, I must say. Number two, it doesn't fit the theme for professional wrestling. When you think of wrestling, you think of like, and it could be some hip hop, songs in it. Who knows? But it's just that particular one, like you said, Nicholas, I don't agree of. When you think of professional wrestling, you think of like theme, like theme instrumental theme songs, like rock, metal. I guess we used to hearing those types of songs, when wrestling comes on and all. And like I said, I'm all for change and I'm all for trying something new, but this theme song for SmackDown, it ain't it. It's not it. Number
I
Yeah.
will
two,
I will say one thing though.
what's
She's
that?
Megan the Stallion, 1,000 times better than uh what's her name? Janae Sexy Red Wearing.
Sexy Red.
What a disgrace. Well, first off, did you not learn your lesson the last time you had this train wreck on your show? How she refused to report an arrest that happened, like, and you allow her on the show? Did you not learn your lesson? How untrustworthy she is? Like, are you that stupid? Like,
Yes.
come on.
They do that shit all the time. All the time. Listen, they do that shit all the time. And as for the intro on SmackDown, I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. When that was playing, I was watching, I was bopping. I was like, listen, I get it. It's not the typical intro music for professional wrestling. I'll agree with that. I think some of the best intro songs we've had have been hard rock, metal, whatever the distinction was. There's been different ones that have been different specific genres. I don't mind it. I think if it's going to bring in younger fans that like that type of music, like you said, it's not our demographic. Like, even if you like hip hop, we like the older artists more anyway. Like, I'm not a big Meg Thee Stallion fan, but I will be honest, when she puts out songs and they're hits, like, they're bops. They're not like great rap songs, but like, they're bops. They're fun to listen to. Like, they had the Cardi B thing. They had Up for
Who?
SummerSlam a while ago. Cardi B wanted to get in the ring, actually. And that was kind of cool. Like, I like that they had Up for SummerSlam. It's just something different. I like it. I don't think, is it the best song ever? No, but it was fun. I liked it. I bopped to it. And it was by far not the worst part of that rebrand.
Who
So,
the hell is Cardi B?
I don't know her real name.
No, I have no idea who that is.
But I can tell you where she get her rap name from, though. So you ever heard of the liquor with alcohol called Bacardi? So she
I
got
don't drink.
her.
Oh,
I don't
Yeah,
drink.
yeah. It's this alcohol drink called Bacardi. By the way, I stay like 2 minutes away from the factory itself, and my fiance told me about how she got her rap name. So she said instead of getting it like Bacardi, she just named her rap. She just take the Cardi and the B, and she just put it together like that, Cardi B. That's how her rap name came about.
She put a
Oh,
lot of hard work into that one. Good for her.
Yep.
So listen, the good parts of SmackDown, Andrade and Carmelo Hayes gave us a pay-per-view match for free on a Friday night. Andrade hit a Spanish fly off of the barricade. Don't know that I've ever seen that before onto the floor. That was freaking insane. And I mean, these two have had JC, if they change his Raw theme song to WAP, I might need to take a break. Like, the podcast may need to like take a few weeks off. Like, to mentally
I don't even
recuperate.
I don't even want to ask what that means or.
Yeah, it's an acronym for wet ass pussy. So, and it's a wonderful song for the female culture
That makes
and
no
female empowerment somehow. Feminism is great, but moving on. these two, I think, are North Stars in SmackDown, and you need to push them. I get it. LA Knight's not going to lose the belt. I understand that. But having these two have consistently great matches all the time. And Andrade versus LA Knight on Friday night, a big title match, is going to be absolutely awesome. And I would not be surprised if Carmelo Hayes got involved in that title match and this somehow turned into a triple threat. And oh, baby, what a triple threat that would be for a pay-per-view. LA Knight, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes. Just give it to me now.
Bro, both are great. I gotta say, this is probably the best SmackDown match of the year, in my opinion. The best. I think they've had 7 matches, if I remember correctly. Carmelo Hayes is great. This was Andrade's best work he's had in 2024. I can't remember the last time he had a great match earlier this year. Oh God, JC, Jesus. But no, I love what they did. Let me just say one thing with Andrade. I really wished his AEW run worked well, but he's so great in the ring. He really is.
Aren't you glad it didn't? He's back in WWE though.
Oh, I think it's great. I think he's married to Charlotte Flair too, so I'm glad that they're. I'm glad that they're both going to be together working. So, yeah, I like what they did here. I kind of don't see them taking the belt off of LA Knight. But you know who should take that belt off of him? It's not Andrade. It's Carmelo Hayes.
I'd like that a lot.
He's great, and I loved his NXT. He was one of my favorite parts of when NXT 2.0 became an actual beginning.
Didn't those two have a thing in NXT? Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight.
I believe they did. I know Cameron.
And it was
Grimes,
good that I remember.
Cameron Grimes and LA Knight had a big. God,
the $1 million championship.
I hate how they handled Cameron Grimes because he was great in that. That was one of my favorite parts about NXT 2.0.
I liked Cameron Grimes too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope he's doing well in the independent scene, Mr. Trevor Lee. But yeah, I think Carmelo Hayes would be perfect to take that belt off of LA Knight. Yeah, go ahead, Bernard.
Like I said, like you said, phenomenal match. These two is like I can watch these two all night going at it for all I care, man. It's like their chemistry in the ring, their work ethics and on the ring with each other, man. It just beyond this world. I like I said, I don't believe LA Knight will lose the title, at least not yet. Anyway, I say let him hold the title for at least a few more months, if that. But these two, they deserve, a title. They deserve the title shot. And speaking of United States Championship, just want to throw this in there real quick. WWE, from what I've read, is that they are officially working on mid-card titles for the women's division. Hopefully that'll be a good thing. That's a good thing.
What are they going to call it? Are they going to focus on Intercontinental, or are they going to do the U.S. Women's Championship? Or both?
I've seen both.
Yeah, it's both. It's like same thing with the WWE and the Women's World Championship. They're going to do it as the Women's Intercontinental Championship and the Women's United States Championship.
I actually like that a lot. But one thing I got to say, and you guys will read me, get rid of the tag team belts.
I think that's the point of it. Yeah,
get rid of.
I hope
that because I always say it. It's the bathroom break match. Every single time, it's been a failure from the beginning. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they're going to look like.
I think that's cool. I really hope not. You're probably right. In all honesty, Bernard, they're probably going to be just white strap versions of the same exact belt. I hope you're wrong, but you're right. But what I do hope is that, like Nicholas said, they get the tag belts out, and then we get Jade and Bianca in the finals of a tournament for one of these belts. Because if not, Jade Cargill is cooked, in my opinion.
Oh, she's already cooked. I mean,
I think she's got a shot if that match with her and Bianca is really good.
I said this previously, I think twice in previous podcasts. I've been disappointed with Jade Cargill's transition from AEW to WWE. I mean, I know most of that time is spent in the Performance Center, but I don't want to be that guy. But has she really gotten better? Because I don't think she has. I mean, she's great. She's amazing in the ring, but she hasn't taking that next step in WWE. I don't know. Maybe it's because like I'm getting tired of her and Jade Cargill being a tag team. They've needed a split for a while.
Yeah.
And I think that's the direction. I just hope it's now. And what I would love to see happen with the mid card titles, you got to give either Bianca or Jade Cargill the title, have them face off against each other.
Yep. Has to
Oh,
be
that
the
makes sense.
direction. If not, it's kind of a waste of time. But we can go to the Monday Night Raw season premiere. That was still on USA for the time being. That's going to be moving to Netflix in the new year. And it was a pretty good show. It was cool to finally see Xavier Woods blow up at Kofi Kingston. That was cool. It would be awesome to see that continue. I think Xavier Woods needs to win in this feud and then go on towards a singles title and get a singles title that he deserves. It's not a world title, but he needs, you need to get the belt off of Braun Breaker first. Jesus, that's a problem. What the heck? Oh, he's on SmackDown. Never mind. So I guess, yeah, I don't have a bigger problem with that. I just got absolutely, no, he's on
Braun
Raw.
Breaker's on Raw. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he is on Raw.
I don't know what day it is. I don't know what week it is. I don't know what show we're on.
What day is it? The date? What year?
I don't know what's happening. Okay, the New Day are on Raw. Braun Breaker's on Raw. The Intercontinental Championship is on Raw. Yeah, Xavier Woods. Unless Braun Breaker loses, I guess maybe he'll go on a run and kind of go after. I don't know, dude.
Another draft happens and he gets drafted over to.
That's not till after Mania, though.
That's not after till Mania, but yeah, they're in a tough spot there. But again, I blame Odyssey Jones for that with his stupidity.
Yes, 100%.
If I'm, God, they're in a tough spot here with. It's clear that the LWO and Jesus, JC,
not very nice.
The LWO and the LWO and Kofi Kingston. That's going to be something interesting. They got nothing for the LWO since Judgment Day is feuding with them, and it's clear Zelina Vega's split apart from them because she's off doing cat things with Natalia. I don't know what they're called, but point is, they're in a tough spot with Xavier Woods. I think that him and Kofi would be a cool match, but I think that would be a nice Raw match, multi-match thing, and then that's where I think you bring the Wyatt Six in. I think that would be it. That would be it because the Wyatt Six are doing nothing now. And I like that they're going back to the barcodes. I think that's smart.
Yes.
And please get Joe Gacy some story, please. I've been begging them for weeks. Yes. But I think that's the direction they're going in. They'll have a feud against each other. And then all of a sudden the Wyatt Six attacks. And then maybe they'll get brought back together for a little bit. And then Xavier turns on them and does whatever he wants to do. But
might be the final straw kind of thing.
It might be. But if the Wyatt Six do come in, I would love to see Big E get attacked by the Wyatt Six. I think that
at a pay-per-view when he's doing the pre-show thing that they have him doing now, it goes dark and he's just fucking gone.
Oh my God.
That'd be kind of lit.
And then on the pay-per-view we see Big E get taken out like Chad Gable with what looks to be a bullet in the head.
Or they just the lights go out and they place him in the center of the ring and just stand over him for a little bit and then the lights go out again. That would be cool. They wouldn't even need to do anything but sit there and everyone would be like, they killed Big E! And the lights go out. Oh, dude, we just created disappointment in our heads. God damn it. I hate when I think of cool
I'm sorry,
shit.
Dude, it's my fault. As punishment, I shall sleep on the floor tonight.
Listen, we got a couple of more things. Actually, we got a good amount of time. We got a couple of more things to get through here. You mentioned the Judgment Day. They're getting beat up or not Judgment Day, the Terror Twins here in our breakdown sheet. Yeah, they're in a little bit of trouble. They're getting beat up by the Judgment Day. The Street Trash are cleaning up.
Yeah, about that. Street trash. Like I said, I still don't believe in this new Judgment Day thing. I think they look more kind of how to say it. I don't know. It's getting out the original Judgment Day. As far as the Terror Twins concerned, Yeah, I starting to get concerned about Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. I mean, this is like what the second week or third week in a row where a new Judgment Day come in and they just beat the living hell out of them. Um, Finn Balor, you know, he's playing the rest leading the crew, and you got Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. They're doing their own shit, and Carlito, he just, I guess he's being cool, if I must say. He's being cool, but I don't see it. I don't see what's going on, man. I'm concerned about the Terror Twins. They need to get something going quick. Otherwise, Bad Blood, it's going to be a good night for the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think I'm concerned for the Terror Twins as much as I am
Hmm.
for Jey Uso. Uh, I don't know what they're doing with Jey Uso. I mean, this dude was
Mhm.
over as heck, and you have him go. It makes sense because Jey Uso has been hitting on Rhea Ripley, which, I mean, makes sense, but like, I don't. Oh God, I don't understand what they're doing with Jay. I think that, and I hate that they're having him go against Braun Breaker. I know why they're
It's
doing it
tough.
because it's a match, but guess what? He ain't winning the title. I'm
Nope.
sorry. Braun's gonna hold that title hopefully for a year. Because I don't know unless Ilya Dragunov gets booked, but maybe they could take him to lose the title early. But Sheamus needs to take that title off of Braun Breaker. I don't care what anyone says. I want Sheamus to win that title, become a Grand Slam champion. But
Yeah.
with Jey Uso, I don't know what the heck they're doing with him. I guess because they have no creative plans for him, they're sticking him with this Terror Twin stuff. And it's clear now that they can't do the Bloodline or OG versus Bloodline 2.0 because you need Jey Uso. And if Jey Uso is going to be in the Rhea Ripley stuff, you can't do it. Like, what you going to do? By the way, does anyone have an update with what's going on with Jimmy Uso?
Absolutely nothing. Someone needs to take Rikishi's phone away.
Like, I don't know what's going on there.
Nothing. Nothing. It was reported Jimmy Uso's fine. Rikishi's just crazy.
Oh my
Damn,
God.
is that
I
crazy?
don't know.
Like, when I saw that tweet from Rikishi, I was nervous because
Yeah.
everyone knows Jimmy Uso has issues with alcohol,
Yeah.
with the DUIs. Like, I've lost track how many times the Usos have been arrested for DUI. But when he said like pray for Jimmy Uso and this, I'm like, oh God, I hope like he didn't relapse. I hope he didn't have like a health issue. And it got me nervous for a second there. And according to Sean Ross Sapp, Jimmy Uso's okay. But like that was weird when I saw that. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Rikishi, he's just, dude.
he's crazy too with what he said about Jey Uso about like how he's hitting on Rhea Ripley. That's wrong. That's this. That. Listen, Rikishi, I agree with you, but you're going to get Jay in trouble if you keep this up.
I just like it's not helping. It's like the little league dad who thinks screaming at the coach is going to help his kid. It's
It's like
not.
Baby Gronk's father. It's Baby
Like
Gronk's father.
what are you doing, dude? Just someone needs to take this dude's phone away. I get it. You're trying to advocate for your kids. I really don't have an issue with that. But like, you just look like an ass. And listen, Jay said it publicly. He's like, I'm more over than I've ever been. I'm selling more merch than I've ever sold. I'm
Yeah,
making more money than ever. And let's be honest, maybe not right now, but the payoff for Jey Uso, it's coming eventually. And I
yeah.
think Rikishi needs to just chill out and stop making us think Jimmy's on fucking life support.
God, that was terrifying. But I will say one thing though, with I don't know what's going on with Rikishi stuff. He's better at social media than Marty Jannetty is. If you take a look at some of the Facebook posts he
Oh,
makes.
yeah.
There are just some people that should not have access to their phone. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever become a public figure, this is why you hire a social media manager so you don't say stupid shit on the internet.
Don't hire the one Antonio Brown has, that train wreck.
Oh,
I'm pretty
Lord.
sure that's him.
Dude, he's such a train wreck.
I
Like
think.
he needs to stay out of the spotlight, lay low, get
Oh,
some
he
help.
won't. He loves it.
Like get some help.
He
And don't
fucking.
worry about what others of the NFL think of you.
He loves it. Hey, listen, since we're talking NFL, one of my buddies asked me to shout out the Browns. We're not going to fucking talk about them, but you asked me to. Shout out the fucking Cleveland Browns. Here we go. Back to Monday Night Raw. We got Monday Night Meat, baby. Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed. And boy, did they kick it off. It was a simple Irish whip, and Bronson Reed ripped the damn turnbuckle off the ring. And did that stop the match? No. Them big bastards kept rolling, and it was pretty sweet. And I'm not a big Braun Strowman fan, and I have gone on record in not being the biggest Bronson Reed fan, but I had a good time. And the fact that WWE on Twitter mentioned it as Monday Night Meat, big fan. I love it. I love it.
Dude, I've said this for weeks now since we started this podcast. Bronson Reed is great. I loved him in NXT. I hated that he got released when he did. In Japan, he got better. He really got better. And I love, by the way, that fan spot where he just grabbed a fan and the crowd, which is obviously an independent wrestler, just an extra. The fact that he used him as a weapon and they had a camera on, it was,
That shit was
so
funny.
It was so funny.
That shit was so funny. He went flying.
Oh my god, he was flying. I thought, like, oh my god, it was great. Whoever his idea that was, give that person a nice bonus. I will say something though. I'm glad it's crazy to say I'm glad Bronson Reed wasn't in the Intercontinental Championship finals tournament, because I would hate to see him lose, because I love what they're doing with Bronson Reed. He's been booked perfectly. I love how they've been handling him. And I'm not a Braun Strowman fan. To be honest, I gave up on Braun Strowman in 2017 after he lost to Brock Lesnar. After one F5, even though he was called the monster among men. And he goes down by one F5. Terrible booking decision. But this is the best of Braun I've had in a while. I've loved what Braun has been doing. And I really just I'm happy for Bronson. Braun is back in my good graces. I'm liking what Braun's doing. And I'm interested to see where this goes from here. I mean, I kind of wish that they would have more matches on pay-per-views now, because I kind of want to see Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman dish it out in Bad Blood.
I don't know if they're going to have that match, but they are doing more matches for Bad Blood specifically. This is looking like a beefy card.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which I'm here
sure.
for. Bernard, what are you thinking on this one?
Man, let me tell you something, man. I was just that shit was so crazy, man. You got me stuttering, but that Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman. That's you can keep your eyes on the television with that. I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
I was just been thinking in my head when y'all was talking.
Yeah.
What if they do a false count anywhere street fight? That'd be good. Have them tear up shit, and all.
That'd be fun.
But yeah, for sure. But
I would love to see, how they do the superplex with Brock Lesnar and Big Show and Big Show, Mark Henry, and Braun Strowman and Big Show. Instead of a superplex up there, I kind of want to see a body slam or like a power slam by Braun Strowman from the top, and that they would power slam Bronson Reed through the ring like Bam Bam Bigelow style from ECW in the Taz match. I think that would be really cool. I really do.
Would be cool. I don't know if they'll do it, but yeah, Bernard.
It's probably unsafe, but I think point is I want to see something crazy happen, because I'm enjoying this. This is the best. I love what they're doing here. I really do.
What? Finish up your point, Bernard.
Yeah, but my point is that I like it. You need matches like that every once in a while. Bronson Reed is like he's getting even more over as the big man type heel. And see, this is why you need more opportunities, give more opportunities to people like Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman, everybody like that. And it's like they need some type of title. And going back with what you said, Nicholas and Shake, but with Jay Uso, he needs a damn singles title run. He needs it. I mean, it's not like it's bad enough that he's gonna lose, lose to Braun Breaker. But I mean, this is why it's like, what help me if I'm wrong, but if you are over the crowd fans is highly impressed by you. The front office of WWE is impressed by you. Everybody like that, and like put the damn title on the man.
Yeah.
But yeah, but back to what I was saying with Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, it's like, yes, I love it. It's TV. It's entertaining. The way Braun Strowman had put Bronson Reed through that wall, he's like, that shit was crazy. Even though but like sheetrock and some shit, but that jump was
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, that I love it. I want to see more of it. I don't. It's kind of like almost like on SmackDown, like I said, with the Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. Have them two big boys go at it, man. Like to see who's the actual dominant force on the Raw brand.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And listen, a lot of time to develop. I think Jay will get his title, but last thing we're going to be wrapping up on.
I hope so, because I don't know if his hype and how over he is, I don't know how long it's going to last if he keeps taking L's, especially with Braun Breaker. He's going to take the L there. I mean, maybe he'll get another W when he helps Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. And
I wouldn't worry about his hype
I'm not
dying
worried.
down. That
I'm not
Yeet
worried.
shit is so fun. Everybody loves it. He found a great thing with that. He can ride that for a long time. But someone who can't ride anything any longer, her rope has come to an end. Vicky Guerrero just,
what a disgrace.
just keeps on pouring it on and just can't really help herself. Yeah, Nicholas, you could kick this one off on the legend known as Vicky Guerrero.
Well, she's not a legend in my book, not after what happened last year. So I first off, I can't believe WWE showed her on TV, interrupting Rob Van Dam's trademark, RVD thing, and then they have her on the screen. This woman, her legacy is forever tarnished for what she did last year. And if you guys don't remember this, I'll tell you what happened. So Vicky Guerrero's daughter, Sherilyn, I think that's what her name is. If I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize. Sherilyn came out with accusations of misconduct from Vicky's fiance or new husband, and they're crazy. It happened on the Jericho Cruise too, which is insanity. And when responding to this, she decides, and I've got the actual post right here on my phone. I've screenshotted it. So Vicky, you ain't getting yourself out of this one. She goes on social media to respond to Sherilyn. And keep in mind, I want you guys to be reminded, this is a mother speaking about her daughter about this. She goes on her social media after this story of Sherilyn's allegations coming out. There are two sides to a story. Over 15 years of my relationship with Sherilyn has been hostile. I have tried to deal with a narcissistic person, not only myself, but close friends of Sherilyn for over 10 years, and family have cut ties with her because of her manic behaviors. I'm tired. I tried to do therapy with Sherilyn, but she's always said no, and that I am sick and not her. Basically, it's your fault. That's the problem, not me. Sherilyn, but she's always said no, no to agreeing to the thing. Sherilyn, please tell your side of the character of being drunk on the cruise and having guys in your room, then crying because you think that you were, I'm not going to say the word, ARD, then demanded us to go to a pharmacy for plan B. You want to play dirty and sling Chris and I through the mud? I can play too. Are you enjoying the cars that Chris bought you since you wrecked yours? Freaking break. I am done with you and tired of the years of your manipulation, lies, and disrespect. I kept quiet for years because you never sought therapy to learn to have an adult conversation with me. It's always been your way or nothing at all. Okay, Sherilyn, not only will I see you in court, you will no longer be associated with me. For the fans who feel entitled to comment, F you. You hear one side of the story and feel entitled to comment or something that you know nothing about. That is her entire statement, ladies and gentlemen. That is a mother speaking about that with her daughter on serious allegations. And she's like, oh, but what about the cars? Like, what about, the apartments I gave you? What about this? Like, what the hell? That's 1 year ago. And ever since that, she did delete the tweet after deactivating her freaking brain. she decides, oh, I'll post a normal statement after this. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you did there. And the fact that with the allegations that were pointed out, you're like, oh, but the cars, what Chris helped you out. And the fact that she calls her daughter, like for 15 years that she was 12, that she was crazy, or like she's never been great at 12 years old. She lost her father, Eddie Guerrero, at the age of 10. That could mess up somebody. Shame on you,
mother's
Vicky.
insane.
I'm sorry. I went on. You guys go ahead and say. I'm disgusted with reading that again. It made me disgusted to begin with. And I can't believe WWE would allow her on TV after those comments.
Listen, I just don't even know why you're shocked by that type of shit anymore. But you're not wrong. I mean, it's just typically the people pointing narcissist fingers are narcissists. And it's funny how she only talked about like how it affected her what husband, boyfriend, Chris, whoever the fuck Chris is.
Yes. Yeah,
whatever. How it affected her. It's like, okay, but like what about like, is she wrong? No. Every story does have two sides, but like, I mean, it's crazy how you're defensive in something that has nothing to do with you, really. Like, you weren't there. You're not being accused of doing these things. Like, you're just getting so aggressive over it. And that's just like, that's very telling to me. It's like, this ain't even about you. Why are you so loud about it? And it's like, I get it. It's your daughter. You have to say something. Like, people are like, oh, what's your statement? You have to, what do you think about your daughter? Blah, blah, blah. But like, if you lie or shut the fuck up, like, I don't understand.
And one other thing I want to say, this is the same woman too who once claimed in the Dark Side of the Ring episode that Eddie OD'd 3 times and she just allowed him to recover on himself and not get any help. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember on the Benoit documentary she said that? And then she's like, shame on Benoit this. This is the same woman who once tried to get Benoit into the Hall of Fame and thinks he deserves to go in and actively campaigned to get him in. Like, her this woman's gross. She's a sketchy person, and like I've lost all respect for her. I have.
Turns out she was never playing a character. Bernard, what do you think of this?
Man, like I told Nicholas when Nicholas first told me this earlier this week, man, it's like I'm just finding out new shit every day about this situation. Number one, it's disgusting. Number two, if your daughter trying to tell you something about your friend or husband or boyfriend, whatever the fuck he is, um you need to look into this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not the fact that she's trying to play like, oh well, my dad Eddie Guerrero is gone. You shouldn't be with this person. No. I believe her. I believe she wants the best for her mother. It's just that particular thing. She just, was, either telling the truth, like I said, I don't know what's going on. But telling the truth, or tell the truth of what's going on and tell her this, because why would she make this up? If she's coming to you about this time and time again, it's like, okay, you need to look into this. The other thing is that you said for 15 years she has been she's saying how her daughter has been delusional or crazy and all that.
Her dad died. Her dad died like 17 years ago. Or I don't know how long it's been. God, we're almost at like 20 years or something like that. But point is, losing your dad at that age could mentally destroy somebody.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. I agree. And that's something what I lost respect for as well. You don't tell, a kid at 10, 11, 12 years old, they're still developing and all. They don't know much of what's going on. They haven't even reached, puberty years yet, anything like that. But to say that your own daughter at that age is like look at her as a crazy or stupid and all, it's like, no, shame on you, Miss Victoria. No, you don't know.
And then she has the galls to say, oh, but Chris helped you get back on your feet with apartments and with cars. Like
Chris as in her friend, right? Her lover,
of her love. I think they're married now. I looked it up. They're married. But point is, I don't care what anyone says. Vicky Guerrero's legacy's tainted with that comment and that post and with what she did there. And after that, by the way, it's also pretty telling that when that came out, AEW wanted no part of her and they cut bait, even though she basically said she was leaving when their contract expired. But when those comments were made, they took everything down. They removed her profile, which is pretty telling, knowing how AEW treats stuff like that. But yeah, shame on you, Vicky. Shame on you.
Hey, listen, a lot of pieces of shit in the world. A lot of them, unfortunately, reside in the world of professional wrestling.
Sorry,
but listen, great show, guys. Appreciate everybody hanging out, having a good time with us. We'll be here same time next week, Thursday, 8:30. Make sure to go follow Stadium Rant on all the social medias, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the Twitters, the Tickety-Tocketies, the YouTubes, whatever you got, whatever you don't got, go get it and follow Stadium Rant. If you don't, I'm coming for you. I'm just playing. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Appreciate the love. And for more articles on your favorite teams, players, leagues, go check out stadiumrant.com. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Acknowledge us.